Still Wave Audio ASMR. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Oblivion Remastered. Today we'll be completing the quest A Watery Grave. Please watch this video if you'd like instructional content for this quest, or if you'd simply like to sit back, relax, and fall asleep. Welcome back to the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary. We need to speak to Vicente Faltieri in order to acquire our first Dark Brotherhood contract. When we speak to Vicente, he will tell us that we need to infiltrate a pirate ship known as the Marie Elena in the waterfront district of the Imperial City. We must board the ship and locate its captain, whose name is Gaston Tussaud, and he should be in the captain's cabin. We are to assassinate him. He also advises us that the pirates have been moving a lot of cargo on board the ship recently, and that we may be able to smuggle ourselves on board the ship inside one of their crates. So, here we are in the waterfront of the Imperial City, heading towards the Marie Elena. We have two options to do this. We could take Vicente's advice and be a stowaway on a cargo container. Or I've also seen online that it's possible to break into the ship at night time from the door on the deck. However, I've never done it that way, and I've never had the opportunity to do it that way. So near the ship, we will encounter First Mate Malvulis. She's a dark elf woman, and she warns us to not snoop around. If you linger for too long, she can become hostile. So, it's probably best if we don't stay here too long. All we need to do is approach the crate like this, and we get the option to hide inside the crate, which is what we will do. So we find ourselves inside the ship's hold, and all we need to do is head towards this ladder and go up it, so that we enter the ship's mid-deck area. Once you enter the mid-deck, there isn't that much in terms of loot. However, I strongly recommend having a look around and opening as many doors as you can. You're going to want to create as much space as possible for a likely fight that is about to happen. We encounter two sailors who are having a somewhat misogynistic argument about whether the captain of the ship should be a female. You can wait for these two to stop arguing. one of them will move off and the other remains. If you like to play as an archer, like myself, I recommend sneaking and firing the first shot at one of them, and hopefully this should give you 3 times damage because you launch the attack while sneaking. So this can be quite a tough fight, especially if you're a lower level. What I would say, especially if you're an archer like I am, is to use the space that you created to dodge as many attacks as you can and use certain areas to your advantage, like how I am using this wooden beam to avoid some of their attacks. Once we've dealt with those 2 pirates, we can loot their bodies and as much as we can from the mid-deck before we head up to face the captain. Now, depending on your level, you may be able to kill the captain in 1 hit. My character is not strong enough for this, so when I attack him, he'll fight back, and this table is useful to dodge his attacks and confuse him during the fight. Once you've eliminated Gaston Tussaud, your objective will be to return to the sanctuary to speak to Vicente. I recommend leaving quickly, as 2 pirates could enter and they will be a tough fight, and I simply recommend jumping into the water, because if you remain on deck, many hostile enemies will try to attack you, and so I recommend jumping into the water and just running away, like I'm doing here, heading back to the sanctuary. When we return to the sanctuary and speak to Vicente, we'll be rewarded with the Black Band, which is a ring that increases your light armor, security, and magic resistance. So that's it. A Watery Grave. Our first contract completed.